Alright, at this time, I need Andrew's table. Let's put away the materials and let's find a spot on the carpet. Alright, let's find a spot on the square.
We can find any spot.
Alright, Angel, your table. Find a spot on the square, please. Find a spot on the square, please. Find a spot on the square, thank you.
We read that book already.
Nathaniel. Have a seat, please. Have a seat. Andrew, put the chair back. Put the chair back. Alright, at this time, everybody, have a seat. You're fine, Brian. At this time, everybody should be on the carpet. Ryan, sit up. Alright, bumpity bump bump. Voices are off. Alright. Stop playing. Play now, you won't have recess later. So at this time, voices are off. We should be on the carpet, crisscross applesauce. Find your own space. You shouldn't be touching anybody. Alright, find your own comfortable space. Alright, so I'll start with our first book, which is Brush of the Gods by Lenore Look and Milo So. Alright, so have a seat. Alright, so this book seems to be from a different cultural background than America. Can anybody give me cut your voice off? Nobody's reflecting with you with that attitude. Alright, you on your own with that. Alright, so can anybody give me a quiet hand and tell me anything that they notice or anything that they depict basically from the illustration on our cover page? Alright, Devin. Hold on, Devin. Alright, you can go back to your seat with that. We're not bringing materials to the carpet.
I noticed that they live in China.
Alright, so Devin's assumption was that they live in China because of y'all two go ahead. First of all, nobody should be in chairs, everybody should be on the carpet. There's enough carpet space for everybody. Elijah, put the materials away.
I'm
Calm down. That's what you need to do. Guys, we're not laying down. You're sitting up, crisscross applesauce. Ryan, sit up. It's not nap time. Right. Wayne, turn around. Ryan, sit up. I'm not going to say it again. Sit up. Alright, so turn to the first page. Voices are off. If you're talking, you will not have recess. You're going to go on my list. I'm not going to say it again. Alright, brush up. Put your hand down. Somebody left out. You need to wait. You don't say you need to use the bathroom. You give a quiet signal. Alright, Brush of the Gods by Lenore Look. Illustrations by Milo So. Alright, hands down. No, I want you to be quiet and sit and listen to the story. Alright. Woo, Diazo looked at the brush in his hand and felt the soft hairs they tickled. Alright. So our first character in the book is named Quiet Hand. Anybody listening? Devin? Diazo. Alright. We're not talking. If you have something to say, raise a quiet hand. Alright, next page. Soak your brush, said the stern old monk, who was his teacher. Diazo lowered it into a little saucer of water. He held his breath. Blend your ink, ordered the monk. Diazo had not paid attention when their teacher showed them how. Now he watched the other children.
You keep following me. You keep talking to me. That's why I keep moving.
Turn around.
I'm not doing that.
Just turn around. And I don't want to hear anybody else telling me anything about anybody else. Worry about yourself. Okay? That's called a distraction. If I didn't notice Elijah, whatever he was doing, then I shouldn't need to know. Just pay attention to the book, please. Alright? Now he watched the other children and copied as he could. They put a few drops of water on a flat stone and rubbed their ink pebbles one way, then the other. Black tears appeared between the stones. Alright, so it looks like they're doing some type of specific artsy drawing or illustration, right? No.
Why is Taylor drawing on the board?
Who?
Taylor drawing on the board.
He's fine. He's fine. Is that a dry erase marker?
That we draw.
Alright, let me erase that. Let me make sure. We had problems with that earlier. It's coming out?
Yeah, it's coming out.
Alright, we good. Alright, next page. Sit up straight, urged the monk. Alright. Sit up straight, urged the monk. Diazo sat up. Hold your brush in line with your nose, said the monk. Diazo stretched his neck so that his head floated like a moon above his brush. Then he looked straight down his nose. Press gently, said their teacher, as he showed the class how to draw a smooth stroke from left to right. Making a glistening number. Aaron, what's your problem? Stop playing, man. Making a glistening number 1 in Chinese on an old tortoise shell. Calligraphy is the highest of the arts, he continued, slowly writing more numbers and beautiful strokes. It reveals your character. Do it well, and you will bring great honor to your family. Alright, so specifically he's talking about their monk is teaching them how to draw legacy. Cut your voice up. Alright, their teacher, which is the monk, is teaching them how to draw in calligraphy. So we use numbers and we write our numbers, we don't draw our numbers, right? So specifically in I don't know what Asian country, what culture this is, but specifically in Asian culture, they draw, right? They draw their numbers. It's like
China.
Well, we don't know if it's China.
It is China.
We don't know if it's China. It didn't say.
It is China because it
Listen,
looks like
that doesn't mean anything. You have plenty of different Asian cultures. You got Korean, you got Chinese, you got Japanese.
China. Asian.
Well, we're gonna make an assumption that it's Chinese based off what we see, but we don't know for sure. All right, so did everybody see the picture with the calligraphy on the tortoise shell? It's pretty neat, right? All right, next page. Voices are off. We're not making noises. The next interruption I get, we will be waiting and sitting on the gate for recess. It's not that hard for us to just sit quietly and read a book, listen to a book. All right, go ahead.
Sorry, Elijah.
At the tip of Diazo's brush, a couple of worms crawled out. The boy gasped. "What's that?" asked the monk. "Worms," said Diazo. "Worms?" Silence. "The worms are beautiful, but you must learn your characters." So Diazo tried again. This time, blades of grass came from his brush. The other children giggled. You must try harder, said the monk. You alright? Cut those noises out, buddy. I'm not laughing. Concentration folded Diazo's body into a tight little fan. Then, with a flick of his wrist, a straight line dropped out like the back of a robe. Then curved a squiggle and fell into a hem. I love calligraphy, he cried. That's not calligraphy, the monk sighed. Each day, something new and surprising dripped out of Diazo's brush. His straight lines splintered into trees. His hooks caught fish. His dots burst into eyes. Then pigs and monkeys. From a stroke, a horse tail flew by. All right, so he's learning fast and very quick. All right, how to make illustrations. Ladies, I need y'all to sit down, crisscross applesauce, so everybody can see. Macy, have a seat. Have a seat. The boy drew on walls everywhere, at temples, tea houses, and silk bazaar. He even drew on the big walls surrounding the city. Dancing peonies, flying Buddhas, so into the sky. Clouds stitched around them. All who saw were amazed. Exquisite, said a lady in a sedan chair. It's a gift, said a nun, bowing low. He has flying sleeves, said a boy with a kite. Indeed, Diazo painted so fast that his sleeves looked like wings spread in flight. Alright, so now he's going around the city. Alright, he's going in the village and he's making illustrations on walls. Alright, so an illustration on a wall is called a mural. It's called a mural. Like when we go in Baltimore City and we look on the side of the houses and we see paintings on the side. Anybody, quiet hand? Anybody ever seen an illustration on the side of a building, like a row house in Baltimore City? We got a lot of those, right? Alright. Admirers begin to leave coins for the painter. They now call flying sleeves. Bowls of rice. Devin, have a seat. On the carpet. Thank you. You're fine right there as long as you don't cause any distractions, buddy. Alright, we shouldn't be getting up, moving around, touching materials. Alright. Says admirers begin to leave coins for that painter they now call flying sleeves. Bowls of rice, fruit, even a chicken. Diazo ran to the monastery with their gifts to feed the poor. The monks were very pleased. Every day Diazo painted to his heart's content. With one eye wide open, the other in a dream, he painted so much. All right, everybody at that back table, have a seat on the carpet, please. Quickly and quietly. You too. They messed it up for you, buddy. I'm sorry. You was fine back there by yourself. Nathaniel messed it up. Have a seat. I didn't tell you to put the materials away. I told you to have a seat. No, not right now. I don't like how you I don't like how you moving. I don't trust you. I'm not sure exactly what you want to be getting into. Prime, find your own space. Find your own space. That's fine. You can sit there. That's fine. People laying down is fine at this point because as long as there's no distractions, I'm fine. All right. Go ahead, Ryan.
It's like in that story.
All right. Next page. Seasons paused. The more Diazo painted, the better he got. Until one day he painted a butterfly so exquisite and delicate that he couldn't take his eyes off of it. The longer he admired it, the more real it looked. Then a wing moved, just a little. when the wind blew. What? Said Diazo. He leaned closer, and suddenly the butterfly rose and floated away like burnt paper above a fire. Aye, aye, the painter exclaimed. I must have only imagined I painted it, when in fact a real butterfly landed there. Quickly, Diazo painted another. This time it was a butterfly he knew by name, the majestic leopard lacewing. Its wings glistened in the afternoon light. The boy blinked, the butterfly winked. Before Diazo could cup his hand around his beautiful creation, it soared away. Come back, he shouted. You belong in my painting. But butterflies don't listen.
You didn't get to see it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You bet not. It was only just check.
Alright, next page. Alright. Quickly, Diazo painted a camel and ran to tell the monks. When they returned, have a seat, have a seat. When they returned, it was gone. My painted camels are so real they can walk away, cried Diazo. The monks shook their heads. It is better to paint than to boast, said one. Alright, so the monks don't believe that Diazo's paintings are actually coming alive. They think that he's bragging about how good of a painter he is. Alright, so let's see what's going on next.
Wait, you didn't even show him.
Oh, yeah, you know. Sorry. Alright, so guys, we can see that he painted the camel, and the camel disappeared. Alright. That day, no one left rice or money for Diazo. The great city wall was bare. Though people could hear his brush slapping and sweeping against the bricks. Diazo's birds fluttered away. His horses galloped into the mountains. Even his carriages rolled down the street and straight out of town. All that he... What's going on? Ava's fine. Aries, what's the problem? I'm going to show the book to everybody. There's nothing to see right now. All right. His horses galloped into the mountains. Even his carriages rolled down the street and straight out of town. All that he painted disappeared. Diazo wept. His admirers also vanished. Also, except the children. Alright, so his fortune is dwindling down. Alright. His paintings are coming alive and people are not supporting him as much. Alright, they're not giving to him. Alright. So he's sad. He's sad, he's crying. His pigeon landed on my head. One beggar child cried. I can chirp along with his crickets, marveled another. Chirp, chirp. The children followed Diazo everywhere, tattered and shoeless. They formed a hedge around their friend. As long as he painted, they forgot their hunger. Alright, so now the children are following Diazo, and they're becoming his new supporters. Alright. Years passed, the crowds grew. The children brought their own children to marvel at Diazo's work. Alright, so now the children are growing up and they're having children and they're supporting Diazo and his work. Inside the central gate of the temple of renewed virtue, people came rushing in when he painted the halo on a Buddha.
A halo, that's the orange.
Now, halo is like a crown, like basically with the like angels. All right, moving on. They gasped when his brush swept with force and brilliance of a comet. All right.
And this is going to be the key.
Yes.
Wait, it's going to fall off your lap.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Leave it on. In the inner hall, Diazo painted 5 dragons. whose scaly armor moved in flight. In temples throughout the city, waterfalls spilled from his imagined mountainside. Ah, someone cried. This man is no ordinary painter. He holds the brush of the gods. Macy, we're not doing that right now. Taylor, no. Alright, never mind. Y'all do y'all thing. No distractions. I shouldn't hear any noise. Go ahead, Macy. Aaron, not talking. One day, the emperor himself came. Upon seeing the 5 dragons, he drew his sword. At the peonies, he bent and sniffed. From the gushing water, he drank. I shouldn't hear any talking back there at those tables. Fireman, have a seat on the carpet. Master Wu, the emperor, finally said, I shall give you an entire wall of the palace on which to paint a grand masterpiece. No one may see it until you are done. It was... Nathaniel, have a seat on the carpet. I shall give you an... Oh, I already wrote it. Alright. It was the greatest honor Diazo could imagine. He bowed deeply. Just wait a second. I'm not even done. I got a whole nother page to read. Just be patient. But a masterpiece takes many years to create. By the time the mural was finished, the great artist had grown old. Wow. So he started the mural, his hair was black. By the time he finished, his hair was gray. So he became old during the production of this masterpiece that he's putting at the emperor's wall. At last, the royal unveiling ceremony began. An orchestra of 700 instruments played. All right, so they're having a royal ceremony to reveal the painting. All right, Devin, turn around. When the drapery was pulled away, mountains pierced holes into the sky. Bamboo swayed, birds flew, horses galloped in the distance. There were 9,999 things to behold. The painting was a brilliant and fresh fallen snow. The crowd fell silent. The emperor bowed. The moon wept. Drenched in the moon's silver tears, the master painter added a shimmery archway and cried out aloud in a voice, "It is paradise. Follow me." All right, so he got a crowd. All right, he got a crowd admiring his paintings. All right. And before anyone could move, the man with the brush of the gods walked straight into his painting and disappeared. Wow. So he painted a painting so descriptive and illustrious that he walked into its own painting and disappeared. That's amazing, guys. Alright, last page. Legend has it that Wu Diazo never died. He merely walked into his final painting. I already showed him. A landscape commissioned by Emperor like Zhang Zong and disappeared. The work painted on a palace wall did not survive. The years of Wu's disappearance varies. Sometimes it is given as 759, sometimes 762 or 792. The uncertainty began further proof. They say that he cheated death. Wow.
He cheated death?
That's what the book said.
He did not cheat.
It said he never died.
Wait, read it.
It's a mystery.
He was sober.
All right, let's see how much time we got left.
Cheated.
All right, it's time for recess, guys. All right, ladies, let's line up.